Good. All right. Good morning, everybody. Go ahead in the chat. Like I said, I would very much like to know if you guys had a good weekend. So just put in a greeting. Hi. How was your weekend? That sort of thing. So again, believe it or not, I like hearing from you guys. So I want to know that everything is going okay for everybody. Good. I'm glad that people are having an at least okay weekend. Like I said, for those of you who just joined, I was doing homework for my master's program, finishing work for my last class, although I still have to. I'm going to start writing the essay tomorrow, and it'll be due on Sunday next week, my final essay for the class. It's going to be about 8 pages. Again, you guys could go ahead and turn your cameras off. I already allowed you guys, so you're good. But yeah. Yep. Again, Camilla, I was right there with you doing homework. So I have to read about, well, for this class, I have no idea. Like I said, I'll be starting a new class next week. I have no idea what that class is going to be like. But for this class, I've been reading about 40 to 50 pages a week, which all things considered isn't that bad. Yeah, Daniel, at the beginning of class, that's why it says on my screen, log into Canvas, turn cameras on, and all that good stuff. But like I said, just at the beginning of class, you don't have to have it on now. I already said you guys could turn it off. But yeah, just to make sure you're all present, make sure that everybody's awake and not passed out asleep. But anyways, so yeah, so that was my weekend. Just that, and then like I said, baking all the bread. No, you won't get a doctor or anything. It's just, again, for me, like a common courtesy that I ask you to do. So you're good. All right. So we are going to talk about what we are doing today as well as what we will be doing the rest of the week. So let's start off with what we're doing the rest of the week. So last week we read Act 1, Scene 1, and Scene 2. So far we've met, in Scene 1, we saw Flavius and Morellus, who were put to silence after removing the scars and decorations from all the Caesar decorations. So they were killed for their rebellious acts, basically. The people who support Caesar didn't care for that. It says put to silence. I would imagine, it doesn't say really who it was. I don't know if they were citizens who were upset, but I think most people would assume that it was soldiers who worked for Caesar who put them to silence, as it were. Yeah, so definitely that's what happened to those two. Then in scene 2, we met Caesar, Antony, which again, like I said, I referred to Antony in the podcast. Again, you guys are supposed to listen to it. If you haven't listened to it, you could still technically listen to tonight, because I actually changed up this week about what we were going to do. So again, listen to this week's podcast. Again, it is mandatory. It is not an optional thing. There might be a quiz on it tomorrow. So please make sure that you have listened to it. Again, for some of you, I got to make sure, because right now it's only showing like 28 out of my 120 students. So maybe that's changed. I haven't looked at it this morning, but I've noticed a lot of people haven't listened to it. So again, listen to it. Like I said, you don't have to be listening to it and doing nothing. You can listen to it and exercise, do work, like chores or whatever. If you have to drive somewhere, listen to it. So again, there's lots of times and opportunities for you to listen to it. You don't have to take notes on it or anything. It's just something for you to multitask with. Listen to it and do something else. But it is, again, mandatory that you listen to it. So episode 9, A Mender of Bad Souls is the name of the episode. It's about 19, 20 minutes. I finish off with a top 5 of my favorite concerts I've attended. So that's the last few minutes of it. But listen to the whole thing, obviously. Anyways. So yeah, and then I will be doing another, like I said, I try to post an episode a week, obviously at the, usually towards the end of the week for you to listen to, so you can listen to it over the weekend for the following week. Yeah, so we will be finishing reading Act 1 this week. So we'll be reading Act 1, Scene 3 tomorrow in class. And for my periods 5 and 6, they'll be on Wednesday. Had somebody show up, but then there they go. They're there. Okay, got everybody marked present. Thank you, Pedro, for being here. Anyways, so we'll be finishing Act 1, Scene 3 tomorrow for you guys, and Wednesday for my periods 5 and 6. And then on Thursday and then Friday for my other classes, we'll be watching Act 1. So we'll have like a little bit of a watch party, and then you'll basically do a discussion after we watch it on Canvas. So that'll be available for you on Thursday and then Friday for them. So, but yeah, so we'll watch it just because I always feel like it's good to watch it because, again, it is a play. Plays were meant to be watched, not just read. The reading helps you like gather evidence and all that sort of stuff and kind of work language a little bit more. But for the most part, again, the medium was meant to be watched. So that's what we'll do. After every act that we finish, so after Act 2, we'll watch Act 2. After Act 3, we'll watch Act 3. And then again, like I said before, we are not going to be reading Act 4 and 5. We will only be watching 4 and 5. So there is that. Okay, so we only have about 20 minutes left in class, and basically today's a catch-up day. So we're not really doing anything extra today. Unfortunately, I do have quite a bit of D's and F's already, unfortunately. So if you go to Canvas, and I'm going to go ahead and switch my screen once I get to the right assignment, of course. There we go. Some people having some internet issues keep getting kicked out. Hello, Leah. Welcome. Looks like we have pretty much everybody here other than one person who rarely shows up and one person who has literally never showed up. So actually, maybe I take that back. They might have shown up once. So it's okay. Yeah, I know some people are having some issues this morning, it seems like, with internet connectivity. So it's all good. Like I said, that's why I record these videos, to make sure that you are taken care of on that front. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and change screens right now. Okay. So today is a catch-up day. So so if you go to Canvas and go to this assignment that says catch-up day 125, I want you to, the way you're going to get points for this catch-up day activity is you're going to type out which assignment you're working on. So maybe you need to do the follow the leader. Maybe you need to do the research. Maybe you need to do Act 1, Scene 1 for the dialectical journal. Maybe you needed to do Act 1, Scene 2, which was due last night, which I sent multiple reminds about. So maybe you need to do one of them. Maybe you need to do two of them. Maybe you need to do all of them. I don't know. But type out which one you're going to be working on. If you are completely done, because obviously there are several people who have done everything that they're supposed to at this point, and even if it's not listed on here, maybe you need to listen to the podcast. Okay, so you could use this time to listen to the podcast, which is basically the rest of class, and that'll take you to what you need. So I would recommend listening to the podcast, which again, the link is in the chat if you need it. For some of these assignments, like the research and follow the leader, you probably even listen to it as you're working on these assignments. Again, multitasking. But if you are 100% done, which again, I know there are probably about 10, maybe 5 or 10 of you who are 100% done with everything, just write a short paragraph. And by short, I mean like 4 sentences, 4 to 5 sentences. To me, that's a short paragraph. A normal size paragraph would be about 8 sentences. Just again, we are upping our expectations. You guys are getting to be big boys and girls. So, but write about your experiences with Shakespeare. Maybe you're going to write about Romeo and Juliet last year, if you had that. Maybe it's from pop culture, like references. A lot of you seem to have been afraid of Shakespeare before you even read Shakespeare. Like, again, and I speak from experience teaching freshmen and teaching Romeo and Juliet. because most of you have not read Shakespeare before Romeo and Juliet, but you knew to be scared of it. So why do you think you were scared of it? So at the bottom, you're just going to do in a text box and type out that little paragraph. If you are, like I said, working on these assignments in the text box, you're going to type out which assignment you're working on. So it will look like this. So let me go to student view real quick. So if I were to submit the assignment, and I know I'm on computer, so it looks a little different. And remember, don't use the app. The app is the tool of the devil. It is complete garbage. And again, it's always very buggy. So again, sanger.instructure.com, use that, and that'll fix most of your issues. So if I were working on follow the leader, you could even just do this. You can just copy the link. That's what I'm working on today, right? Or maybe it's all of them. Maybe I have to work on all of these things. Okay. Maybe I need to listen to the podcast. Or if I'm done with all those, I'm going to write a paragraph about my experiences. If I can type. Apparently not. And then when I'm done typing it all out, I will submit my assignment. And I will get confetti, apparently. I don't know if that's new or if that does that on the iPad, but apparently it does that. Anyways, so that's all we're doing today. So type out what you're working on. I'm going to put you in breakout rooms up until 10:25. And then at 10:25, I'll call you back in, make sure everybody's good. Are there any questions before I